You're listening to the And I Quote podcast, brought to you by Coterie Insurance.
We will be bringing you conversations with industry influencers and experts discussing a variety of topics focused on our theme, because relationships matter.
Now let's dive in. Welcome to the And I Quote podcast. I'm Ashleigh Burden, the marketing manager at Coterie Insurance, and I cannot wait to dive into today's episode with our special guest, Kelly Spies. Kelly, welcome to the And I Quote podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm super excited to be here.
I am too. We're going to be talking about two things that I love, small businesses and food. So very excited to dive into that. So just to give our audience a little bit of background on you, Kelly, you're obviously an insurance broker and also agency owner of KS Pacific Insurance Agency. And you're also the creator of Food Truck Freaks. So we'll kind of get into that a little bit, but you specialize in insurance for food trucks. So again, really excited to welcome you onto the podcast and really just to dive right into it. So I want to talk a little bit more about, we talked about your food and your niche and everything, and really about the taco trail. So I think when, we talked before, you mentioned how, tacos are such a huge thing in California. I actually love tacos. Actually, my last trip to California was actually planned all around food and all around tacos. So I was very excited to connect with you. So tell us more about that, like the taco trail and how that really plays into your niche with your market for your agency.
So yeah, California is a very unique place, and we are the capital of tacos in the United States. California has more tacos than any other state, and Texans might hate me for this, but I'm going to say California has the best tacos in the country. But you can literally travel from the most southern part of California all the way to the most northern parts of California. And there is a map actually of the taco trail. Basically, you can literally just travel up the length of the state and go from taco truck to taco truck. And what's really cool about that is because it's not just tacos. There's such a broad spectrum of the type of tacos you can get, which I know you're like, what with the tacos, Kelly? Yeah. But let me tell you this. So as someone who niched down in my business, in this industry of insurance, we often teach new agents to stay local, to search their warm markets, work the community where they're at, go to those networking meetings, meet business owners, do things on the local level. But when you think about your license allows you to work in your state from the tip of each border to the boundaries. You can literally go anywhere within your state. You're not limited to your own city, right? So for me, my niche being food trucks, being able to travel up and down California means that I have a market, right? And you might think, well, Kelly, these people don't know you, but that's where niching down is so very important, because you can use, the world of social media to create a brand so that you can target those niches and they do know who you are before you even get there because of social media marketing and that niching. The more you niche down, the more people you can actually reach because of that focus. It allows you to have a focus instead of, think about how many businesses there are in the state of California. Millions, probably. I don't even know that number, but it's huge. So if I'm an insurance agent and I'm trying to work in the entire state of California and I'm trying to target every single business, I will be spinning my wheels and getting nowhere, versus niching down into an industry that I know is profitable for me as an insurance agent. With niching down, you've got to do that research to make sure it is profitable and that there is enough of a market for you to niche down in. But what I found was it was a niche that no other agents were really wanting to touch, just because there are some national programs that are out there. But if you don't let those things stop you in this business, you can niche down and create a very, very profitable business for yourself through niche marketing. And the taco trail, awesome. Just follow the tacos.
Follow the tacos. I love it.
You can think about that. If you think about niche marketing, you can niche down in that. Let's say your market is the preferred market. Maybe you only work with those food trucks who have 4-star chefs, right? Well, there's enough food trucks that you can market those preferred market food trucks. If maybe you're food trucks marketing niche is all about international. Well, then you go international with it, but you can niche down within a niche. You just keep drilling down.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I think that's, key really to any business, but specifically in the insurance space of really having that niche. And like you said, then using marketing to really, drive, growth and expand your reach. So let's dive into that just a little bit more, because you did talk a little bit about that in terms of your approach to marketing and social media. So when it comes to, your food trucks, what is your strategy? What do you like to do? And what would you recommend to someone who's looking to find their niche and kind of market to their niche?
So I did something and unlike what anybody else has done. In fact, every single food truck I visit, they've all said the same thing to me. And other agents reach out to me for this very reason. And they say to me, there's nobody else out there that's done what you've done. And here's how I'm going to give this away. Why gatekeep on this, right? So here's my approach. Here's how I do this. I have a little card I designed that shows what I do, right? Food Truck Freaks Insurance. Got pictures of food trucks on there. It's got my phone number, my email, my Facebook link, all the normal stuff, right? It's like kind of like a card, it's like a postcard. I have that. And I learned that food trucks specifically support each other through stickers that they put on their windows. You ever go to food trucks and you see stickers of other food trucks and things? Yeah. That's how food truck owners actually support each other. So I created a little Food Truck Freaks sticker. And I would take these with me, and I'd take my tripod and I'd go to a food truck and I would walk up to that food truck and say, "Hi, my name is Kelly. I'm just here to do a video today. I'm just going to tell everybody about you, where you're at, what food you serve, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about insurance." And I'd give them that card. Now, never once would I say, "Hey, can I quote your insurance?" Right? I'm not giving the hard pitch, because these are people at work in the middle of their day. These are business owners who are working. I'm not trying to disrupt their day with my business. So what I do, I give them that little card. I walk away. I put up my tripod, set up my cell phone, and I record a little video that tells everybody, "Hey, come check out these tacos at this taco truck." And a lot of times I would order tacos, so I just have them on camera, and I call it smell-o-vision. I'd let everybody, I'd show them the tacos, and I tell everybody, "Come try this business owner's food." And, and then I would do a little short segment about commercial insurance, specifically that was relevant to food trucks. Things about, getting the towing on the commercial auto. Things about how you can't pull a food truck with your personal truck for business use. That's commercial. It's got to have that commercial auto policy. I would talk about those things. And then when I was done, I'd close up my video and I'd say, "Thank you, Mr. Food Truck Owner, Mrs. Food Truck Owner." And I'd get my car and I'd drive to the next food truck. And what I would find is that I'm driving business directly to that food truck, right? The biggest piece of value I can give to another business owner is to give them customers. And I can use my own social media following to do that. And I have thousands of followers. So, and I have been at food trucks where a food truck owner has said to me, "Kelly, this person's over here shopping, buying from our food truck today because they've seen your videos." And so I'm giving that value to the food truck owner by driving customers to them. What happens is then, in turn, that food truck owner looks at that card I've given them and goes, "Oh, but wait, she does insurance, food truck insurance." Next thing you know, they're calling me for food truck insurance. And, I had more business than I even had markets for. I give out referrals left and right to other agents in states I couldn't write in. And that is how you do niche down marketing. Everything. In fact, I have people who tell me they can't even eat tacos without thinking of my name. Because
now that's market recognition right there.
I blitz social media with taco memes, with food truck videos, with pictures of tacos, shouting out food truck owners. I go visit. I just go visit. Even if I'm not eating, I just go visit. And I say hi. Maybe I take a picture and I post that. But all I'm doing is marketing these food trucks and marketing what I know. And in turn, I'm getting clients. And that's how I niched down in the food truck industry and created a nationwide brand. I have people reaching out to me from all over the country, people from Florida, people from Texas, people from places I didn't even know there were food trucks would reach out to me and say, "Hey, I need help with my food truck insurance." And if I didn't have a market in that state, or maybe I didn't have a license in that state, I guarantee you I've got an agent already lined up that I work with that I can say, "Let me introduce you to my colleague." and I'm creating this buzz and this brand, and everybody now knows me for tacos.
Yeah. I love it. It's just incredible to hear. Just hear, not only is it, obviously the business acumen there, but there's also that passion. I love seeing that it just really shines through. And that is that's so important to small business owners, the food truck owners, just having someone come and support them, promote them on their social media. Think about how much that means to, someone who's maybe just getting started or looking to grow and really looking to, gain more customers. So I love that that's something that you do, and it has shown and gained tons of traction. So kudos to you for really just, getting out there, hitting the pavement, but also showing a lot of passion for the small businesses. And like you said, not just, in your local area, but you've gone and really branched out. And so that's incredible. It speaks incredible to the way you care about your community and the small businesses there. So I just want to pivot just a little bit, because we talked a lot about, how when you started your business, the challenges there, and then growing your business, but then also like there's just regular life, and you have to, continually balance that, have that work-life balance. So what does that look like for you? And how do you, obviously try to maintain your own work-life balance? And then what suggestions would you give to other agents who are, kind of gritty like you are, but also need to have that balance in their lives?
It's something that our industry, in fact, I just said in a webinar week before last, specifically about this topic, our industry, we bring new baby agents into this industry, and we tell them, there's a couple of pieces of golden rule advice we give them. One, give all your clients your cell phone. I'm going to tell you, don't do that. The other thing is, you tell all your clients that you're there for them 24 hours a day. You cannot be. Do not try to be, because you still have a life. You still have relationships. You still have your family, your health. You still have to take care of you. Even though we are in a people business, this is a business, and you still have to be able to shut your doors at a certain time and go eat dinner. And you still have to go out on a date with your spouse, and you still have, I have grandchildren. My 5-year-old just turned 5 a week ago. My grandson comes to work with me on Fridays. Do I get much work done on Fridays? Okay. Obviously not. But it's more about teaching him, work ethic and things like that, and coming to work. So in this industry, if I had to give myself or any new agent a piece of advice coming into this business, it would be make the most of your time while you're at work. And when you're not at work, be okay knowing that it's okay to not be at work, because sometimes you need to not be at work. Yeah. You need to strive for that balance. Absolutely. Because you can't work yourself to death in this industry. And, when we need to see a doctor, we get sick, right? Maybe we get very sick. And we're running a fever, and we call the doctor's office and we say, oh my God, I'm so sick. I need to come in today. And that person says, well, we've got an opening on Wednesday at 3, or maybe next Tuesday at 1. Yeah. Which one would you prefer? Well, we can't just say, well, no, I need to come right now. And if you don't give me an appointment, I'm just going to come down there, right? We don't do that. We respect and understand that the physician has booked appointments, and that the physician has a schedule. And when the physician office closes at whatever time, they're no longer available to us, right? But yet in our industry, we teach agents disregard all of that. And what we're actually teaching them is to disregard professionalism. And when you disregard professionalism, the clients will disregard that professionalism as well. And then they will have no respect for your boundaries, for your time, and your own life. And it's very, very critical and important. Do you know that 92% of insurance agents fail? 92% of insurance agents fail. That means only 8% succeed. That is an astronomical number. Part of the reason that 92% of insurance agents fail is because they're overwhelmed. There's not enough training. Yeah. There's not enough mentorship. There's not enough work-life balance. They're stressed out, freaked out. They learn about things like chargebacks, the ugly parts of this industry that we have to deal with. It's sink or swim in this industry. We pit agents against each other. We don't teach mentorship. We don't teach coaching. We don't teach work-life balance. We teach grind until you die. That's what we teach.
So Kelly, you were talking about, just the way that, agents coming into the industry are kind of taught, like, help us understand that more. Like, why does it seem as though some are getting burned out, like just having a struggle or a hard time getting going in the industry?
So when we get sick, we call a doctor's office, we feel really bad and we call them and we're like, hey, I need to get in. I'm very sick. And the person on the other end says, well, I have an appointment available for you, this Wednesday at 3 or next Tuesday at 2. And you don't really have the option of saying, no, I need to come right now. If you don't get me and I'm coming down there right now, right? That's not how we behave, because we understand that the doctor has appointments and other people may have called in and the doctor has a schedule. We have a respect for the physician's professionalism, right? We know that when the office, that doctor's office is closed at a certain time, they're no longer available to us and we don't question it. But yet we teach insurance agents to disregard all professionalism. Okay. We teach insurance agents that, tell your clients you're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And what happens when you do that is you're actually teaching the client to disregard your professionalism and that whatever you're doing and your appointments and your schedule is not important, that only they are important in your business. Yeah. That's what we're teaching them. And did you know that 92% of insurance agents fail? 92%. That is an astronomical number. 92% of insurance agents fail because they're overworked, because they think they have to be on call 24 hours a day. They are overwhelmed by the amount of paperwork that they have to do. They've got to meet quotas. They've got to get sales. They've got to do the service work, and then not to mention on top of that, now we're telling them, well, don't worry about your own life. Don't worry about, any of that. Just if people call in and need you, you hop to it, And so we teach our agents that they've got to sink or swim. We don't teach mentorship. We don't teach coaching. We don't teach work-life balance. And yet every other industry does. You don't pick up the phone and call an attorney and demand to speak to them right then and there, do you? You don't march into that attorney's office. Right. You know that you need to make a phone call. And our industry, as far as I know, I cannot think of another industry that does this. Our industry teaches us as agents to just be an open book for clients at any time of day or night. How is an agent supposed to succeed with that kind of activity?
It doesn't. Right. It doesn't, there's like no level of productivity, or like you said, definitely not that work-life balance. And so I definitely think that's something I've seen it, I've noticed it myself. And it is something that I think will take, a mindset shift, right? Like maybe it's like a legacy kind of point of view, especially if maybe the agents, the business has been passed down through the family and things like that. And they really have, that grit, but it's still like that balance like has to be there. And so I love that that's something that you're passionate about and really communicating that out and spreading the word that should be something that's looked at more in the industry.
Well, because there's a new way of doing business. I kind of mentioned this, when we were talking about pandemic, the world changed. Business changed. We have, I forget what they're calling it now, but all these people that don't want to go back to work. And it's because people are looking at the corporate world and saying, I'm not willing to give away my health, my life, myself, my being for your minimum wage paycheck, and insurance is no different. And I don't think that a person has to give away self to be successful. And with the new way of doing things, with niche marketing, with social media, we are seeing the collapse of our financial world. We with what just happened with the Silicon Valley Bank. And yet we've got a whole group of people who are making a living without setting foot outside their door every single day. So where does that put us insurance agents in the middle? Well, it means that we can partake of this new way of doing business. We don't have to do business the old way. We don't have to cold call all day. We don't have to pound the pavement. We can use social media to drive business to us. So instead of getting up every day and spending 10 hours making calls and 2 hours doing service work, we can now wake up to requests in our inbox that says, hey, I need help with insurance. Can you help me?
Yeah. Yep. And I think that's important. And it's one of those things that, we're passionate about here at Coterie as well. We definitely, have tools available and resources to really help agents in that space, right? To be able to market themselves. If they choose to have a 24/7 online presence, that's one thing, but actually themselves physically having to take calls and take requests and things like that from their clients or prospects for 24/7, that should be something that, they don't have to do if they don't choose to. And so I think, to your point, leveraging the tools that are available online, talking to other agents, networking, seeing what they do to really, drive that efficiency in their business where they're not running themselves into the ground in order to grow and maintain their business. And I think that's so important that you're really passionate and strong in that belief. So no, I love that, we've covered so many different topics today, and it was, like I said, very exciting to kind of talk how you combine that love of food, tacos, with, growing businesses. So, we'll wrap up the conversation today, but I really have enjoyed just learning from you, Kelly, and hearing how you're really, in your community, boots on the ground, supporting not only the food trucks and the small businesses, but also other agents, right? And like we talked about, really supporting them and that mentorship. I think that's so important that you do that. So with that, I want to thank you for joining today's podcast, and we hope to talk to you soon.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you allowing me to say a lot on your platform.
Thank you for listening to the And I Quote podcast, brought to you by Coterie Insurance.
We will be hosting episodes with industry experts on a variety of trending topics this year, and would really love for you to listen and subscribe.
Coterie Insurance is on a mission to simplify small business insurance for agents, brokers, and our partners. To learn more about Coterie Insurance and this episode, please visit our show notes below.